In this video, I want to introduce to you another family of elements, the ones that are in column 7 of the periodic table, known as the halogens. Interestingly enough, even though they are right next to the noble gases, which we are calling the inert gases, because the elements in column 8 hardly ever react with anything, the elements in column 7 are highly reactive. In fact, the first one, number 9, which is fluorine, is the most highly reactive element of all of them. Fluorine actually reacts with every other element in the periodic table except neon and helium. Neon and helium are the only two that it doesn't react with, which means it reacts with argon, krypton, xenon, radon, elements that don't normally like to react with anything. This is an indication of how reactive fluorine is. The next one down is chlorine, which you've probably heard of. For any of us that like to swim, chlorine is the element that's used in swimming pools to keep down the growth of algae and other bacteria. Right under chlorine, we have element number 35, which is called bromine. The name bromine means it stinks. Bromine is one of only two elements that exist in their elemental state as a liquid. The other one being mercury, which we know lives in row 6 as the very last of the D elements. This right here would be mercury. Bromine is also very, very rare. It's rarer than 75% of the other elements. That makes it extremely rare. However, it's soluble in water, and so bromine is commercially extracted from seawater. Right underneath of bromine, we have iodine. Years ago, iodine was very popular as a household antibiotic, but it was a very, very stingy antibiotic. Under iodine, we have the last one, which is astatine, which, remember, also forms the final border of the metal, non-metal, broken jagged line. Astatine is radioactive, and the average half-life is only 8 hours, so not very much is actually known about it. So these 5 elements, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and astatine, comprise what are known as the halogen family. They're very reactive, and one other thing that's interesting about them is that in their elemental state, in their natural state, they all exist as a molecule of 2 atoms rather than as singlets. All of the inert gases exist as singlets, but the halogens all exist as a molecule with 2. So when you write them, you need to remember to include the subscript. Fluorine in its elemental state is F2. Chlorine is Cl2. Bromine is Br2. Iodine is I2. And astatine is A2, At2. I just realized I could have used another thing. Let's do it on a fresh piece. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and astatine, the halogens.